Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories. As always, I'm your host Chris Jack. Today we're checking out a pair of shoes that did not release here locally in South Africa, but might have wherever you are watching from. I've had a lot of questions about this particular pack, so I've managed to organize a pair from a friend of mine who's just returned from Berlin, and he's hooked us up with one of 6 pairs from this Adidas DNA pack for Chinese New Year 2020. Without further ado, let's check them out. Alright, so as mentioned in the intro there, this particular Ultraboost released alongside 5 other pairs in an Ultraboost pack nicknamed the DNA pack. This is obviously a pack that was created in celebration of Chinese New Year, the year of the rat. Although not many rats going on this particular pair, but it does encompass a whole bunch of Chinese symbolism within each one of these pairs. And to show you those other pairs, I'm just going to throw them up on the screen right now. So as you can see, there are 3 Ultraboost 20s and then 3 Ultraboost. One of them is an S and L as well. But the pair we've got in hand today is probably one of my favorites just in terms of its detailing and colorway on this particular pair. It's also my favorite iteration of the Ultraboost, at least as far as the upper goes, etc. But to get into the shoe itself, and as mentioned, this did not release here in South Africa. I have had a lot of questions about this. We are definitely not getting this, and that is obviously to the best of my knowledge today at the time of this filming. But yeah, it doesn't look like they're coming. But if you do want to get a pair of these, you are going to have to look overseas, unfortunately, and look at importing them. But onto the shoes itself, this is a really awesome iteration and highly detailed pair encompassing a whole bunch of different Chinese symbolism in here. The most standout feature for me right here is just the sublimated print onto the boost. This is something that I haven't really seen properly too much apart from the Star Wars pair, which is another pair he actually dropped off with me. I didn't get them myself, but where we first started to see the paint on the boost there, I probably will do a review on these. Let me know if you want to see a review of the Star Wars pair in the comments below. But yeah, it's quite interesting of how they've actually managed to do that. There's no telling of what it's going to look like over time. Will it crack? Because obviously the boost contracts and expands as you're walking in it, so it'll be interesting to see how that fares up over time. But this is basically a floral detailing over here, which is really highly detailed, and that wraps up onto the heel cage of the shoe, where you've got gold foiling on the Ultraboost logo itself. Underneath the shoe, you've got that standard black Continental stretch web outsole, and that is just done obviously in a black, and you've got this matching beautiful gold metallic detailing over here on the torsion system itself. Now moving into the upper of the shoe, the majority of the upper, the prime knit here, is almost a camouflage kind of coloring between a lot of whites, grays and silvers. It's quite a nice backdrop for this particular shoe, which is then obviously highlighted by this translucent rubber cage. Now moving to the forefoot of the shoe, this is something I found really interesting on this pair. I haven't really seen it before on an Ultraboost. There's a whole bunch of little dots that are all different sizes, which make up basically that toe cap section of the shoe. If you were to look at any of these other sort of Ultraboost that we've got over here, it's normally like a TPU or a fused overlay that's done there just as a protection in the front of the shoe. This time it's not as overpowering, you know, if it's one piece of layer or over there, it's all broken up into little dots. So it's obviously providing a little bit of structure there in terms of the form and the shape of the toe box, but perhaps not as durable maybe as what the usual fused overlays would be. But just set above that over here, you'll notice an embroidery of a tiger. This obviously is the year of the rat, so there's been quite a bit of confusion of whether this is actually a Chinese New Year. Why has it got a tiger on? But I think the whole point of this DNA pack is to really just pay tribute to a whole bunch of Chinese symbolism throughout each one of the pairs. The embroidery on here is super tight. It looks really good on this particular pair. It was something I was a little bit worried about. It's a little bit like Ed Hardy for me, if I'm honest, but it really works with this particular pair and the rest of the detailing on it as well. Moving up into the laces, you've got a standard set of flat white laces here. A really nice detail is the gold metallic aglets on the top, and then set just behind that, you do have an Adidas Performance logo, which is done on that tongue tag, and then the same on the right hand shoe. I've just pulled the insoles out. This is a really awesome detail that they've got here. You can see elements of that tiger almost done in like a watercolory feel on it. This pair has been worn a bit already, so if you do see a little bit of fluff on there, it's just from the socks. And the heel section, you do have that updated Boost logo, which is done in the bubble lettering over there. But overall, I really like it when they add detail onto the insoles of the shoes. It really just completes this as a special edition pair. Now, from a sizing perspective, these are absolutely true to size for me. I am a flat UK 9, and these are UK 9 as well, and they fit absolutely perfectly. Now, from a pricing perspective, I think these drop for around $160 in the United States. I think my friend said he paid around $200 or 2,500 Rand in Berlin for this particular pair. So if you are looking to import, that's what you're going to look at kind of paying. There's no real telling if these are going to sell out. As far as I understand, they are still sitting on shelves, so they might end up going on sale over time. You might be able to pick them up on places like StockX for under retail, etc. And for those of you who are wanting to import a pair of these, make sure you watch the real cost of importing sneakers to South Africa in my vlog section here on the YouTube channel. I go into pretty in-depth detail on all the calculations you need to make in order to work out what your price is going to be at the end landed here in South Africa, so there are no nasty surprises. But that's it for this review. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you do have any further questions on this particular pair, please drop them in the comments below. And as always, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button right here, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.